Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariel and this is Dress Relief. It's been a while since I've done a little chatty video, especially talking about dark academia, so today I thought I would do a video on some ideas for dark academia room decor, which is long overdue. I'm going to try to include some ideas that you can DIY yourself and some ideas that you can easily purchase, so I hope this is helpful, and if it is, don't forget to leave a comment down below, subscribe, like, whatever, and let's get started. So first off, I think anything vintage really fits the dark academia aesthetic, especially if it's in a neutral color or a dark color or any color that fits the dark academia color palette. So first, one idea would be a lantern or basically any antique vintage looking light fixture. It's practical because it can light up your room, of course, but it can also really fit the aesthetic well. Along the same lines, you could also get an antique clock, which is again very practical but also academia AF. You can find a lot of these on Etsy, or you could try your local thrift stores or swap meets or antique stores. Another thing I've seen a lot on the dark academia side of Pinterest is busts, which I've also seen on Etsy as well. You could get famous mini statues or sculptures or busts of whoever you'd like, and I think it really fits the dark academia aesthetic. Another thing you can get are candles, which I also think is very practical. I love lighting candles, especially because my cat's litter box is right outside my bedroom. And also like vintage looking candle holders, which I think can also be pretty easily found at thrift stores as well. Some other ideas, especially if you're into writing and stationery and things like that, are some desk supplies such as a wax seal kit or something like a quill and pen, ink, or maybe art supplies. You know, whatever fits your dark academia hobbies can also serve as room decor. If one of your hobbies includes drinking and you are of legal drinking age, then maybe you can get a bar cart. I think vintage antique looking ones are super cute and they can fit the dark academia aesthetic, but they can be pretty pricey. But if you drink a lot or have friends over a lot, I think it'd be a good investment. Another idea is vintage mirrors, whether that's on your wall or a handheld mirror. I think they are super pretty and romantic, so definitely fits also the romantic academia aesthetic. And you can find it kind of often at swap meets and thrift stores as well, or you can find a vintage looking frame and add that onto a mirror, so it's a pretty easy DIY project you can do as well. Another thing is record players, especially if you're into music. I think those can also give off a vintage dark academia vibe, especially if you go for the dark academia color palette. And of course, you can't just focus on all these items and trinkets that you can use to decorate your room. Don't forget about your actual walls. You can go for some vintage looking wallpaper as well as vintage artwork. For some artwork examples, you can frame up some vintage photos, some vintage style illustrations or sketches, especially ones that are related to academia, maybe like anatomy sketches or floral sketches or things like that. Or those like butterfly bug preserve things. I don't know what they're called. If someone knows, then you can comment it down below. Or you can put up some book pages or sheet music. So next I wanted to talk about some easy DIY projects you can use to decorate your room. So I did mention using book pages or sheet music to decorate your walls, and one little extra step you can take there is you can do some coffee stained or tea stained book pages or sheet music. So that's really easy. Just brew some coffee and soak your papers in there. Maybe you might rip the edges to make it look a little vintagey-er. You can also press some flowers. So if you have a garden you can go to and pick some flowers, then you can just press that in between some books, hang those up or frame them maybe, or just dry some flowers and put them in a little mason jar, so that will last a long time and it's really super easy to do. Instead of buying artwork, you can also try printing or maybe even drawing some yourself, something like vintage ads or vintage papers, paintings, or old antique looking maps, and just frame them or just tape them up. I think taping them can look a little messy, but it also kind of fits the academia aesthetic to be a little messy. Another idea, if you don't want to buy an actual bust, maybe you can embroider a bust and hang up your embroidery of one, or you know, any other kind of academia inspired embroidery, maybe a quote inspired by a book or any image inspired by a book, maybe something from your favorite writer or composer, or anything you want. I think you could be really creative with some embroidery ideas. I also mentioned those butterfly bug preserves, whatever they're called. But maybe you can also do a DIY version of that using some colored paper and some glue and putting that into a little shadow box and making them look as real as possible. And finally, if you are especially crafty, maybe you can try DIYing a bust yourself using paper mache or clay and sculpting one, or maybe something like an animal skull. I think those will look pretty cool and macabre and very dark academia. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this and I hope it gave you some inspiration for your room decor. And if it did, don't forget to like and comment down below what ideas you liked, or if you have any ideas of your own that you would like to share with the class. And follow me on Instagram at @DRESSRELIEF and on TikTok at DRESSRELIEF, and I will see you guys next time.